welcome everyone to the Parks Rotary Club. And right now I'd like to ask everyone to rise and just spend a few minutes and meet your fellow Rotarians and guests, and we'll get back and get in order in a second. Okay, thanks everyone for mingling, and now we're going to have invocation. Patsy Watson will come up and lead us in invocation.
Are you ready for me?
You're up.
You got to get it quieted down.
I know. Really? Everyone, now we'll have Patsy Watson will lead us in invocation, so let's have a seat.
All right.
We can stand still.
Does anybody have something? Can you all hear? Is this on? Okay. Have something they wish to lift up in the invocation?
As an update, I know everyone's been asking about Alan Wynn, and we still don't have an update. All I can ask is everyone keep him in his prayers, but we just don't know. We are trying. And that was as of thank you, because we've had concerns that he might, okay, just keep him in your prayers, please. No, so we just heard that he is awake, and he's been in ICU. His phone has been cut off. Everyone's been trying. I had communication with him about 10 days ago. We had others that had communication. We just heard this now from John that he is awake, and so that's better than what we were fearing. So please keep him in your prayers.
Happy, go ahead. Okay. I'm trying to get this in place there. There we go. Happy said her brother, we need to keep him in our prayers. Also keep my sister in your prayers. She's unfortunately not doing so well. And Barbara Barney, I know I was just told, Barbara, yes.
Herb's going to come by with a microphone.
Okay, good, good. I was given your name that you had a. No?
Okay.
Well, that's something we want to lift you up and your father. So, thank you. Anyone else?
Here,
Sure.
My son got married last Friday.
Yay!
Check that box.
Check. There you go. There you go. Anyone else? Okay, let's bow our heads. Dear Lord, we continue to be so grateful for all you have given us, even though we often don't deserve it. Be with all those who are experiencing difficult times and help them to get through them. We are so blessed with all the freedoms we have, but be with all those in other parts of the world who are struggling with wars and other difficult times. Be with each of us today as we fulfill today's promise and return home safely. In your name, amen. And now we will honor our country by saying the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All around
And now we have requests for Happy Bucks. Anyone have any Happy Bucks they want to provide some money to our foundation, internal? Happy Bucks?
I just got back from Germany and Prague, a lot of history, and the weather was only 70 degrees. I'm so happy.
But you had to come back.
Yeah, why did I come back?
Any other additional Happy Bucks? Anyone? Fred?
My wife Brenda and I are celebrating our 39th wedding anniversary today. So.
That's great. And Herb, if you could ask for a guest also, you know.
Okay, we both have to stand up and say
Okay.
something. So I have some Happy Bucks because we just got back from Italy. So it was a marvelous trip, and the temperatures were great there too. So we thought about not coming back, but our money ran out, so we had to come back. And Savannah has something else.
I get to go to Canada, and I'm leaving this Sunday.
Just for a trip. She's not moving. Just for a trip.
That's great.
Money. Right. Okay. There you go.
Now, you have to go back and get all these other people.
Yeah, Fred's right there.
I'm still learning, people.
I guess not.
It's money time.
Money. All right.
Any more?
Well, I didn't just get back from Germany or Italy, and I'm not going to Canada, but I did get lunch off today, so I was able to come over and spend some time with the best people in the world, the Rotarians of the Rotary Club of Park Cities, and I'm really happy about that.
Good job.
Anybody else?
And now, introduction of guest. We have any guests today?
Ethan, Robbie, please stand up. These are probably the most outstanding interns I've ever been around. They are so smart. Graduates from Jesuit. Ethan's at the University of Arkansas. Robbie's at Fordham University. Sharp, smartest people I've ever been around. And Ethan has been particularly involved in the nonprofit work and communicating those things that are important since we're so involved with the community. Thank you, gentlemen, for doing an outstanding job, and I'm so proud to bring them here to Rotary. Okay.
Hey, good afternoon from Sarasota, Florida. Rotary Club, come on down to Marina Jack Wednesdays at noon and join us anytime. I'm the water advocate for my club, advocating for clean water projects around the world. And I also am the executive director for Thirst Relief International, and we do clean water projects in Uganda, Kenya, Congo, Tanzania, India, Nepal, and the Amazon River Forest area on the Brazilian side. And I just wanted to connect with your club. It's my first time here. I love this venue. I'm looking out the windows for dolphins like we have. I don't see them. What have you done with your dolphins? And then the other thing I wanted to tell you was I was coming over here because we stayed in Addison, and I was on this interstate, and I think it was a Walmart truck had flipped on its side and spilled the pharmacy goods all over the highway, and they were cleaning up the Vicks Vapor Rub cases that had smashed onto the road. And I don't know if it's the Texas Department that does transportation, what's that called here? Yeah, that thing. They put a big sign up and they said, no more congestion for the next 8 miles.
I'm really pleased to introduce two people today. To my right, I have Jim Thomas here. He is a Rotarian with Fredericksburg Rotary, and he is transferring his membership here. I just submitted his app. Let's give him a warm round of applause. He was looking for Barb because they've become good friends. They have a mutual friend in Bernie. And so, anyways, welcome, Jim. We're so glad you're here. I'm also so thrilled that Gail Claveness is here. She is an escrow officer with capital title. She tries to visit when she can. She loves coming to our Rotary Club. Let's give her a warm round of applause. Thank you, Gail. Cool.
Appreciate it. I'd like to introduce you to Sonny Malik. He's a commercial relationship manager and good friends, and we work together at the office, and I wanted him to come over here to introduce him and so he can go ahead and enjoy our friendship as well. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'd like now to call on Sean Foster to present our marketplace advertiser.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Today's spotlight advertiser is Nolan Duck. Nolan, where are you? Where's Nolan?
Right here, right in front of you.
He's right in front of me. Thank you, thank you. Nolan's a multiple Paul Harris Fellow. He's a recipient of the Wilbur Hawkins Spirit of Rotary Award, and he's also this year's president-elect, as you may already know. He's been a member of our club since 2006. He's been a Rotarian for over 30 years. He founded DBG Advisors, which is a business brokerage and M&A advisory firm. He's also got a ton of credentials. He is a board-certified broker. He's a certified exit planning advisor, a certified value builder, also a real estate broker, past president of the Texas Association of Business Brokers. So his firm guides business owners through preparing for sale and the sale of their company. He ultimately wants to help owners be prepared when somebody comes calling. He's written a book entitled, Are You Ready to Sell Your Business? 10 critical issues every business owner must address to get their business on the right path for a lucrative exit. And then after you make that exit, we've got a number of different financial advisors around here that can help you. Sitting right here and standing here too. He would be happy to have a confidential conversation with anyone who is considering the sale of their business. Please join me in thanking Nolan for his advertisement support.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Nolan. And now we'd like to have a few, I want to call on Mark KASHAR to speak to an upcoming event.
Thank you, President Jeff. So last month we had Stacy Cushing from the Anti-Defamation League come talk to us, and she mentioned an event that they are having on October 29th, the Walk Against Hate. So Jeff Sheehan and I created a Rotary team, and we are going to be walking in the Walk Against Hate on October the 29th at Clyde Warren Park. Love to have you join us. Go to walkagainst.hate.org and then search for Rotary Club of Park Cities if you want to come with us. It's $20. Or you can make a donation. We'd love to have you. So ask us with any questions or look it up and sign up and come walk with us.
Thanks, Mark. Come join the team. We're going to put a team together, and it should be a lot of fun. Holly HOLLENBECK, I want to have her come speak about our foot care project.
Hi, I'm here to talk about this year's Foot Care Clinic for the Homeless. It is September 30th. Please mark your calendars. If you didn't go last year, it was a wonderful, enriching opportunity to really have hands-on with those that need it most in our communities. So this year, we're still looking for medical volunteers for our the foot spa bath side of it. I'm curious to know if any Rotarians would actually like to be that hands-on. We may actually have to call on you to do that if I can't get 20 medical people to do it. But it's not medical services. They do sign a full release. But think about it from whether you're a Christian or not. Think about it from the perspective of Jesus Christ and washing the feet. And like I said, even if you're not a Christian, there's just something humbling and inspiring about serving those who are in most need. And that's truly what this event's all about. They get free socks, free shoes, brand new shoes. We got all that in place. The only thing I'm starting to get the volunteers together. So if you want to be on my committee to help with some of the tasks in putting this together, I really could use some committee people. And if you want to volunteer the day of, you're going to be getting emails. You don't have to wash feet. You can still be a volunteer in one of the other categories. So please keep that in mind. It's September 30th, 9 to noon at the Austin Street Center, which is an amazing homeless shelter. I think we've had a speaker here talking about it. So it's wonderful we get to go down there again and serve those wonderful people who need it most. Thank you.
Thanks, Holly. And just to add to that, as a lot of you know, Holly brought this when she moved here to Dallas and joined our club. Her Minneapolis club had done this, and it was very successful. And it was a very successful Omaha. I'm from Minneapolis, but very successful, and we're hoping to keep building on it every year. So please keep that in mind if you'd like to volunteer. We have some announcements coming up. We have Tuesday, August 8th, Rotary Means Business. See Happy, Franklin, for that. It's at 12 Cuts Brazilian Steakhouse from 5:30 to 7:30. And then there's a murder mystery dinner event that, see Happy again. Happy is wonderful, all the different things she plans. And her, okay, thank you. And that's at the Hilton Garden Inn downtown on Saturday, August 18th. And if you've ever done a murder mystery event dinner, they're quite fun, especially if you win. Saturday, August 26th, District 5810 Awards Dinner. So I know several of us have already signed up for that, but that's at the Haggard Party Barn in Plano. And then September 1st, Friday, we will not be having a meeting because of Labor Day weekend. And so now I'd like to bring up Elisa to help us draw the winning raffle ticket for today. So today's jackpot now is $1,752. And we're going to have, no, I don't get to pick it, have our speaker pick it, Kevin. Keith, okay.
The pressure's on me now, okay.
And the winning number, the last four numbers are 4434. Ah. Woohoo! So as most of you know, that the way this works is the pot keeps getting bigger, and Sergio now has to draw out the ace of spades and if he pulls that card, he wins the pot, half the pot. So hold on, one second. Seven of clubs. That's your parting gift. Thank you very much. And now Mark Neese, come up and our chair of the day, introduce our speaker.
Thank you, President Jeff. I'm real happy to bring you this program today. Keith Randal Duncan and his wife founded the Movie Institute, his wife Martha, in 2000. At that time, it was out at the studios at Las Colinas when a lot of activity was going on out there. Keith is one of those few people still remaining here in Dallas. He's native, but he's still remaining here in Dallas that has worked in the media, film and TV and media industry longer than I have locally. We first met each other actually at the Dallas Producers Association pretty soon after that organization was founded. Him and Martha are instrumental in keeping that going. They do great programs for youth. It's actually one interesting kind of story is that when I first moved back to Dallas in 2003 with my wife Lori, I started working at Dallas Community Television. And that was a community TV center. We had studios, we did training, trained nonprofits, trained people that just wanted to learn how to make content. And then we had our own station that was on the local, one of the local TV affiliates, where all of that content could be broadcast so people could actually have their content watched. It was a really great thing, but one of the things that we did that I spearheaded there was our summer video camps, where we would bring all ages of kids between 8 and 18 years old, and they would go through a whole week and basically learn how to write scripts, put together their team, shoot what they needed to, do all the editing, and they would walk away at the end of the week with that, at that time, a VHS tape with their finished product on it, project on it. It was a great program. That program was modeled really after the vision that Keith and Martha had for doing this, and they've been doing it all along. Really exciting things going on with them. So I'm really happy to introduce an old friend that I haven't seen in a while, but Keith Randal Duncan from the Movie Institute. Please come up.
So, can you hear me? Awesome. Let me get my notes I won't use. Thank you all for inviting me. Thank you, Mark, for coming across me again and inviting me. Yeah, I worked in commercial video. Although I traveled the country, I'm a Dallas guy, so I just couldn't leave Dallas, you know? I go to another place and work for a month or two. I didn't want to stay there. This is where I'm from, so I always came back to Dallas. And I thought, well, you know, why not just travel and make my home still be Dallas? Now, I snuck up to Plano in 1999, but I'm still a Dallasite at heart. And, you know, I've worked in many different fields, like you said, in the business. And then I retired from that. And then I taught college for about 8 years. I taught film. And then I retired from that. And, you know, we'd been doing the Movie Institute as a kind of a give back. You know, I'd arm wrestle my friends into coming and mentoring on the weekends. Or, hey, we're going to do a summer camp. Can you take off an entire week? What? You know how much I'm going to lose? You know, but they always did, and they're still doing it. And in fact, Martha would have been here, our co-founder, except she's up running our flagship camp, and one of us had to be there, right? So, and I drew the straw. So anyway, we've been doing that for a long time. What the Movie Institute, what exactly is that? Is that an art, leisure nonprofit? What kind of nonprofit is it? Well, we actually are a youth development nonprofit, and we found that out by accident, because you know how you go. You start off going one direction, and then life takes you in another one. And our main thing we wanted to be is effective for kids. So we started this thing out looking for those weirdos like us who had normal parents, and they wanted 1 week with, you know, not normal people. So that's how we started when I was a producer at the Los Colinas Studios. Stage C was never used, and so I asked them, can we use it for a summer camp? Of course, the owner's like, what? And so, sure, I don't care what you do. So we put together this whole camp in 2000, and we did attract a lot of film kids. But over the years, we found out that kids don't stay in the movie business. It's like dance. Who has kids in dance? You know, dance kids usually don't stay in dance. They do dance up till, you know, they get to a certain point, and then they decide they want to be veterinarians or something, right? So, but the dance school gave them a lot of poise and self-confidence and taught them a lot of things that they use in their everyday life. Well, we stumbled upon, we do the same thing in the movie business. Man, who's been on a movie set or made a movie in here? Anybody been on a movie set or made a movie? Okay, you know how hard it is, right? You know how hard it is. Live TV is crazy, by the way, and I did it for about a year, and I said, nope, I'm going to be on Xanax if I did this anymore. So there's no take two on that, by the way. But if you've ever been in the movie business, it's really hard to make a picture. Some movies take 2 years to make and $250 million. You know, that's quite an investment. Well, we don't do that in the Movie Institute. We don't have $250 million or 2 years. We have 1 week in a summer camp that kids come on Monday. They learn how to make movies. They learn how to do it. We put them through all the paces. They write their own script. They choose their own director, and they make the movie. And in 1 week, we have a short film by Friday. The director comes in with our professional editor to cut it because we don't have a lot of time. We have 1 day to edit it. Then it's judged by professionals from like the Dallas International Film Festival. People outside our organization watch the films, judge them, and then we show them at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas here on Monday night from when the camp closed. And it's always full. It's a red carpet thing. You know, it's like an award ceremony. So that's what we do in the camp. So from the camp we grew to do weekend. Everybody was saying, but we want more. So I said, well, I got a job. Okay, the weekends are free. So we did weekend workshops on cinematography and writing, and those went over really well. So then we expanded again, as much as our jobs would let us. So we, remember Valley View? I mean, who used to shop at Valley View? That was my mall for a long time, I'm just saying. Well, it's gone now, but we were actually there for about 3 years before they tore it down to do a beta test of, can you build a movie studio for kids? A nonprofit movie studio for kids. Wacky idea? Well, all my filmmaking people thought it was. Are you crazy? So anyway, we did a beta test for 3 years at Valley View, learned a lot, and you can, by the way, build a safe, it's like a community center mixed with a movie-making studio. We do actual productions in the daytime there. In the afternoon, we'll be doing after-school programs. We work with autistic kids, underserved kids a lot. We're in Dallas ISD right now doing after-school programs for like TASB. If you know where TASB is, over in the Vickery Meadow area. We're involved with that Vickery Meadow area because it's a high immigrant population. They're trying to find their footing in our society, so we kind of help ease them into that with an after-school program. That's a fun thing to do, which is making movies is fun, but they learn team building. They learn how not to be so within themselves, how to work with other people, critical thinking skills, which are lacking in some generations of recent note. We instill those in kids, and we don't tell them how to do it. They find that through the work that they do to make a movie or make a music video or do a newscast. They learn those skills that we all want them to have when they come to work for us, right? And so we just coat it in a sugar pill, and the poor suckers that stay in the movie business, we counsel their parents first, right? And then we guide them into the right colleges, whether it be a career college or a four-year college, help them build their reels so they can have a career. And we've done that with many kids. We've touched about 2,000 kids over the last 23 years. I'm not going to take a lot of your time up, but I just want you to know that this effort is a surprise to me. I'm more surprised than anybody about how movie making is such an interest now with kids. Everybody has a camera on their phone. And to learn how to do it the real way and how to coax your friends into helping you and making it a big deal. And we do kids from all backgrounds, you know, all economic levels, all ages are all put in the same group. We don't divide it by age. So the older kids learn how to mentor the younger kids. And the younger kids learn respect for the mentors they have that are their peers. And that's something that's missing too a lot. We had it, a lot of us older cats had it in our day, but that's missing a lot from some of the education now. And I mean, you know, I remember Good Citizenship Awards. Not that I ever won one, but I remember Good Citizenship Awards, and those are all gone. So we're trying to take some of the things that are missing that we think that parents often don't have time to do or don't know how to do, and we put that in a fun place so kids will be whole. And when they come out and they go to school and they have jobs, they will look back with fondness. They're fun with the Movie Institute, but also they would have learned those skills, those vital life skills that we all want them to have to be good citizens, purpose-driven people that make their own hope. Earned accomplishment is the number one thing we teach. Earned accomplishment. We are a meritocracy. We don't give away participation trophies. It's a meritocracy. That's how you find out what you're not good at. Ooh, I suck at that. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to try this over here. Because in the movie camp, they can all the job positions they get to fill as kids. We just guide them. You know, what we're doing now, though, we are now committed to building a 6,500 square foot movie studio for kids at the shops at Willowden now, and we've just taken possession of the space. Reese Architects has signed on to be our architectural firm, if you're familiar with Reese. They're great studio builders, so we're very lucky to have them come on board as community partners. And Pritchard and Associates, if you're familiar with Jim Pritchard, they came on board to be our construction management firm to build it. So it's going to be a real thing. I mean, the kids, they use the real equipment. We have, you know, Fisher dollies. I mean, they get on the same equipment that I used to use when I was active in the production business. And that's a big deal because a lot of camps and a lot of is demonstration. They show the kids how to do it, but you can't get near my gear, right? No, they're all over the gear. You know, in all the years, we've only had one broken mic cord. And I've had professionals on sets drop Zeiss lenses on the ground. So, you know, these kids are we tell them what it's all worth and what they're on. They're like, ah, so they're really scared, you know. But they use it and they learn to use it, and it makes them feel important. You know, they're using the big boys' equipment, right? So we are opening up. You can go to our website. Little flyers have our QR codes on it. We have opened up just now. Our founder circle is what we call it, which are 12 founders that will give a one-time legacy donation, and kind of like the DSO, you put on a plaque in the lobby, right, to support the studio. And we had 12 positions. Those we don't have 12 anymore. So, but if anyone's interested in giving a legacy tax-deductible donation, because we are an official 501c3 Texas nonprofit corporation. That would be great to support the effort up there. Anybody wants tours, get with me. We'll take you up to the space, and you can come up and see how it changes over the next 2 months. It's crazy. And you know, our camp now, COVID. I mean, people are so closed in. We did no advertising for a camp this year, and we were sold out in June. And we had an 18-person waiting list because these kids are sick of being at home. They want out. They want to do things. And we want to provide things for them to do that will help propel them into their lives. Because remember, this is the scariest part of what I'm going to say to you today, is their future is really our future. They're going to be taking care of us. We better invest now. Yes, ma'am. There's one camp now. Next year, because we have our own space, because, you know, we have great community partners, don't get me wrong. AMS Pictures is one of our sponsors, Frisco School of Music, DISD, but, you know, they have their thing going, so they have to fit us in. And sometimes AMS, when ABC says, I need to use your soundstage, like, Keith, sorry, so you have to cancel your stunt workshop, you know? So we get that, and they're great, but we want our own space that we can control the schedule. That way we can offer more camps and after-school programs. The Einstein School in Plano wants to be our first customers for our after-school program. So we'll still do our out-of-house things down here in Dallas. We'll do our out-of-house things up in Frisco, but we'll have our own space now to be able to do, and we'll be able to hit about 1,500 kids a year to 2,000 kids a year in that one facility of all economic levels and backgrounds. And it's interesting to see them because all that goes away. When the kids are working together, I can't tell you how endearing it is to see these different backgrounds, different religions, philosophies, you know, different economic levels. And all that goes out the window. We're going to win best film. We're going to win best film, you know, and it's just really great. And, you know, when we do a school program, we show it at the school, their picture. They do a 12-week program, and then at the end of that, they get to show it to the school. And they get to get up there and be there. It's like a film festival thing. You've ever been to one of those? And so they come in, sometimes beaten down, bullied nerds, especially the creatives, you know, in a tough school. And they come out usually as celebrities because the school puts our films on their own YouTube channels, and they go and they spread it around themselves, you know. And these kids that were nerds yesterday you were in that movie, man, that's cool. And their lives are completely turned around and changed. And I don't know if you remember 8th grade, any of you, of how awkward and horrifying that was, because I was a complete geek nerd. I do. And I wasn't an athlete. I read books and wrote scripts. So it's like, anyway, to get that accolade at that age just can make you feel a lot better of getting up and going to school the next day. And so we want to share that with as many kids as possible. And this is actually a proof of concept. It'll be a permanent place, but Centennial is already talking to us about, once you prove the concept, we talk about a bigger facility for you guys. And the NTPA is right around the corner. Who knows the NTPA? North Texas Performing Arts people, wonderful people. They're right around the corner. They're putting a similar studio in next to us, but the balance is so great. It's funny how the universe sets things up, right? We're 85% tech, we're 15% performance. They're 85% performance and 15% techs. You can see a synergy up there, right, in that mall. So we want to build it all out. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with is there's a secret project that we're working on that I'm under an NDA on, and as soon as I know more about it, I'm going to run up here and ask Mark and your president there, Jeff, if I can come and talk to you about it, because it's going to be in Dallas, in South Dallas, which I'm from Oak Cliff, any Oak Cliffers in here, and we want to tell you guys first about this project, that when I can talk to you about it. But it's going to be a big, great project that serves kids in Dallas, and I'm super excited about it. But we have to do this one up here in Plano first because the planets align that way. So I'd love for you to ask more questions and support us if you can. If you're curious, our doors are always open, so come on up. Yeah, run, Mike.
Questions, anyone?
And I'll answer everything best I can. Oh, yes.
Hey, thanks so much for doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Could you give us the logistics of it? And you may have at the first, but I couldn't hear.
Oh,
in other
sorry.
words, is it 1 week and then you do?
Well, the camp is
8 weeks.
the camp is 1 week, and then we show it on Monday, and then on the weekends we throughout the year we do things like the Halloween movie workshop. That's a really popular one. Make a monster movie. Yeah, We're all dead by that one, no pun intended. But, and then we have a cinematography workshop. We have a lot of writing workshops for screenwriters. I'm putting together a young student producer workshop, which is what I did, which is mainly the administrator, right? We pull the show together. So that teaches kids all kinds of organizational skills and things, and leadership and pitching, and that'll be in '24. But when we get our new facility open, depending on code and permitting, which you builders and real estate people understand what I'm saying. We're at their whim. We'd like to be open by November 1st. We'll see. But that place, we will have production in the daytime, after-school programs in the afternoon, and then every night, 7 days a week, we will have classes and over every subject, and we'll have a subscription program, sort of like a dance school model. We start at 8 years old doing some movies, and you'll move up and doing different things every semester, different animation. We're starting animation in '24, and then game design in late '24. We'll be doing that up there.
Interesting. Yeah, Keith, thanks again for coming. And I
Yes,
wanted
sir.
to
Thanks you, Jeff.
Piggyback off a conversation you and I were having here. I love that this is happening in Dallas. And I was asking you about other programs. It sounds like you guys started this from scratch. You didn't model it off another program.
No.
But talk about the difference between what you do and what other youth movie camps.
Oh, okay.
Because there are others in LA and New York, but yours is distinct.
Yeah, ours is different in our approach. And, you know, there's two, and I talked about some of that. I mean, the way I started this is I wrote the curriculum for it in 2000, is I thought, what did I not have when I was a crazy movie kid in the 70s with my Super 8 camera? My dad was an aeronautical engineer for LTV. He had no idea who I was or what I was doing. He once told me when I was about 17, I was walking out in Star Wars, you know, blasters in uniform on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m. He was like, I can't get you up for school at 7 a.m. during the week. Why are you up at 7 a.m. today? I said, well, I'm making a movie. You know, I love you, Keith, but I don't understand you. I said, Dad, ditto, and I left. But, yeah, so that's the way I started. But in Oak Cliff, I had no mentors, right? And there was Skyline. People remember Skyline? But my parents wouldn't let me go. It was too far away. So I want to go to Skyline. I want to learn the radio, TV, RTF. No, you can't go. You're going to go to Kimball like everybody else in our family. Okay. So, best I could do is join the theater department, which a lot of normals think theater and film are the same thing, and it couldn't be more untrue. They're similar, but not even near the same. So I went through theater, making my little movies. And anyway, to make a long story short, I thought to myself, I had no mentors. I had no guides. I had no one to really care about what I did. People just patronizing. My friends would come to make movies with me because I wouldn't go to the arcade with them in Saturday night if they didn't. So I had to bribe them, basically, right? Yeah.
So I have a question about AI. Are you finding AI helpful in the training that you offer, and which AI is the most helpful, in your opinion, for scripting ideas, plot ideas, and other things?
Well, I'm going to tackle that. I'm going to try to be as nice as I can be. We are studying AI. At the Movie Institute, we believe creativity is a universe-given thing to human beings. And though machines may approximate it, they can never replace it, because why? We're human beings. And machines can think faster. But I don't think AI can think as creatively. And if you look at some of the, pardon my French, the crap the AI puts out now, I think it's much ado about nothing, to quote the Bard. We are still old school. Curriculum is written by people because we have to know the kids. AI can never know the kids. We don't have, our kids aren't numbers. Each kid is an individual. We know their names in camp. All 50 kids, we know who they are. We know, if we see one sitting on a staircase with their head in their hands, which happened to me yesterday, I walk by and I sit down with them. And every mentor, every production tech, every administrator, every ops person is a mentor and is charged with what's going on with that individual kid and how does that kid fit with the group. Maybe the kid hasn't found the fit yet. And that's the mentor's problem, not the kid's problem. And so how can AI do anything about that? I don't have any idea. Now, I'm studying AI as an assist for animation. It's really good for backgrounds and stuff like that. Right now, it's so stupid, there's no way it's going to replace real writers or real effects people. It will be an assist to them. And when it gets to the point that we're all replaced, I'll be way retired, and I'll be probably sitting in Northern California. So right now, it's something we talk about, and we tell the kids about, and we tell about the cool things, and we also warn them about the dangers of AI. We're all about the kids. We're not about us. We're about the kids. And that's another thing that's different, Jeff, is our focus is not on the money, is not on our own self-aggrandizement. It's about the kids. And if someone does this better with the same metrics that we have, which we track our metrics through independent people like Frisco ISD and Dallas ISD, and we're always in the 93, 96 percentile of satisfaction for the camps and the workshops we do for them. If someone does it better than me, we'll switch our money over there, right? Because we're community partners. We work with other nonprofits that do things like the NTPA. We don't want to replace or supplant anyone. It's not about ego. It's about we're all here to help the community. Like the young lady who spoke about the homeless. You know, we're all charged with helping each other. And like if you're a Christian, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian or not. We're all here to help each other. Because we're who's going to help us if we don't help each other? Nobody. Is a lion going to come help us? Is a chimpanzee? No. We have to help each other to grow our civilization, to make it better for everybody else. I believe the start of that is with our children. If we teach them the right way, the best way for themselves and other, we will be blessed with that in our later life. And society will run better because we have people who care, people who know how to live their lives, not just based on themselves, but based on, you know, when you make a movie or do a TV show, Jeff, you know it's give and take. No one anchor person, no one producer runs that whole show. It's a team of people putting that show together. And if the show sucks, it's because the team sucked, right? If the show is great, it's because that team came together. And they don't have to even like each other, as long as they work together, right? And that's what we teach in a smaller level to the kids. That's our secret sauce, sort of, is that we're very personal with the kids. We know them by name, we know their needs, and we teach them what they need to know through a fun avenue.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Isn't it nice to know your students are not on strike? 2 quick questions. One is, I haven't been in the buildings at Las Colinas, the film buildings there.
Yeah.
In, I don't know, 20, 25 years or something.
Oh, yeah?
I think the buildings are still there, are they not? What all those...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What's that being used for?
Yeah. I was just there about I'm a founding member of the Texas Motion Picture Alliance, our lobby group for incentives. And I was just there for a TX-MPA meeting, what was that, a few weeks ago? No, about 3 months ago. It's now Mercury Studios, and it's owned by Glenn Beck.
Oh, I see.
He bought it. It's where he broadcasts out of.
The other question, do you envision a camp, if you will, but at least an opportunity for college-age kids who don't want to go to college, but who might be interested in filmmaking?
Funny you should say that. In our big plan, I can't talk about because I'm under an NDA, that's part of the plan, is to have a school that's accredited by the state of Texas, but is hands-on and not academic, that actually helps them build a career, make connections, and go right from the school into the business. Like I said, a small percentage of our people do stay in the movie business, video business. Most kids don't, luckily for us in the video and film business, because there are already too many people in that business anyway. But we do help them, you know, get into schools and colleges. Now, in our plan long-term is to do this. In our plan long-term, once our proof of concept works out up at Willowbend, we want to put these in different cities on note, using our methods to help kids and to train a new generation.
Keith, I have one last question. With the advent of TikTok and kids making their own videos and such, obviously kids see that they can monetize these things, but are you seeing like a feeder growing and because of all this also, but are there any school systems around the area, like Plano and such, that have film in their curriculum.
Oh yeah,
as
that's
electives.
growing actually. It's growing. Plano East has a really great media program. The problem with media programs is the state hasn't quite caught up. So what they do is that usually they go, or school districts do, is they steal half the money from the theater department to start a media department. So you can imagine what theater directors think about us. And instead of adding them, because they don't think it's a real career, and it's not a real career for a lot of kids. But you know, there are a lot of people who are nuclear scientists too that get giant grants to go to school. There are not a lot of those, you know. But in Texas, we're just now getting some respect from the legislature. That's what I'm saying. Did you know the first Academy Award-winning movie was made in Texas? Wings. We've made over about 1,500 Hollywood films in the history of Texas. And we don't even try. They just love us. You know why they love us? Now they go to Atlanta, but they'd love to come back here. I just talked to Gary Brown not too long ago, and he said, man, I wish I could come back here. You know why? Because we're Texas, that's one. So I'm going to brag a little bit. But also because when you cross the border here, you save 20%, and there's no income tax. It's very, very attractive to Hollywood people. And if you go 50 miles in any direction, it looks like a different state. That's why Prison Break was shot here, guys. That's why. They based it at the studios of Las Colinas, because he could go 50 or 60 miles this way, that way, and it looked like a different, he could say it's Ohio, he could say it's Idaho, he could say it's the desert, right? And they were all based right in the central part. So yeah, filmmaking, we could bring it back, and these incentives that we just passed are going to bring it back and bring our crews, half of them moved to Atlanta. And we had great crews here. But you know, when the work comes back here, they'll come back here. And that's what we want to kind of be a part of as well. In my adult world, that's adult age world. Let me make that clear. In my adult age world, that's what I'm working towards too, is bringing film back to Texas and television shows back. A lot of things are streamed here, though. I mean, it's a lot of streaming. Queen of the South, if you remember that was shot here, down in Southside Studios, I think. Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, no, we're not. I never come from fear. It's just like, how can we capture that business, right? What's the challenge? How can we overcome those objections? And how can we capture the business back to Texas? Thank you all so much for putting up with me.
Do you want to show one of the videos?
Yeah, why don't you show?
You want to end with that?
Yeah, why don't you pick the newer one?
The newer one?
Yeah, the one without the flashy things.
Okay, I think that's
That's a technical term.
Keith, thank you for presenting today, and in honor of your presenting today, we're going to put a book at McShane Elementary in your honor.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you guys very much for inviting me. I had a great time.
Thank you. So next Friday, Robert Kent is the director of the Texas Trust for Public Land, will be speaking, and Walt Markham will be our chair of the day. And now Mark KASHAR will come do our four-way test.
Thank you. Please rise and join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Hey, we had gotten
No, just you and me, and then one other donation. I might send an email out.
Yeah, you know, we need to. I'd love to.
Get a good team. Yeah.
always funny. I always try to get people to do stuff like for junior rep or
I'll send an email out.